Hey there, YouTubers! Dave here. Today I'm going to do a quick review of an IYV IJGAP200. That's a mouthful, isn't it? It's this guy right here, and I've seen other people's reviews, but I'm going to throw my 2 cents worth in. I own about, I don't know how many, 6, 7 of their guitars. Some of them turn out good, some of them not so good. This one is the kind of like, not real great, but I have a price point where I won't pay anything more, typically more than $150 US dollars on any of these. I used to build my own guitars for many years, and I kind of got to the point where I just couldn't build them for as less expensive as these guys do. Once I discovered them, I started buying their guitars and then just fixing them or modifying or using their parts for my own. So this one here, as you can see, is like a semi-hollow body kind of acoustic electric. It has active pickup and a piezo bridge pickup under there. But let's start at the top here and work our way down. Right here at the top, first thing I noticed was the little nylon washer on the B string is broken. So thankfully I actually have a set of these tuners that I had taken off one of their other guitars, so I can replace this one, I think, with a fixed or working one. So yeah, that's first issue. Second thing, they say it's mahogany or mahogany. The neck kind of looks like a mahogany. I suppose there's some kind of a type of mahogany, but it's not bad. I actually took some soft sandpaper and smoothed the neck because they did not really, it's like they just shot the lacquer on real quick and they didn't really come back and buff it or do any of that. So pretty quick, builds on these things. As far as the frets are concerned, though, they're actually pretty good. There's no fretting going on as I go all up and down the neck. The frets aren't sharp, although they're not rounded on the corner or the edges. So I may go back with my file and just kind of round those off a little bit. I know that as the neck dries out, might get some tang sticking out there. As far as the fretboard, I have no idea what material this is. I doubt that it's rosewood, but it kind of looks like rosewood. As long as it's a hardwood, I don't mind. I know that IYV has a tendency to use like a hardwood flooring material for their fretboards. Anyway, so there you go. That's the neck. Now getting into the body. The body, they like I say, claim it's mahogany, but it looks more like a basswood or something. I don't know. Anyway, the finish is pretty crappy. They just shot it with probably a couple coats of a like satin or something like that finish, but they didn't buff it very well. They didn't sand it, so that as you run your fingers over it, it feels kind of rough, and there's little bumps, like you get particles when you're shooting something and the lacquer's still wet. Little particles are going to land on that, right? And then you have to come back and clean it off. They didn't do that, so obviously I'm going to have to take care of that. The other thing I noticed right away was I looked down in the sound hole. There's a big hunking hole down in here. It looked like it cracked, it broke out. So I don't know if that happened during some kind of shipping or at the factory, but it didn't look real good. So I'm not sure what I'll do about that. I actually had planned to actually punch a little hole through there anyway because I wanted to stick another piezo probably up in here in this area to give it another type of sound. So I might accept this and keep it as is. Otherwise, I typically would send something like this back. The other thing is the bridge. That doesn't look like a rosewood bridge. It kind of looks like a mahogany type or something. I have no idea, but they really bolted that down. It's got 6 screws in it. So it is what it is. Doesn't look too bad though. The action is pretty good on the neck, so probably not going to be too big an issue there. I did want to mention that they have electric guitar strings on it, and that's fine, but I think I'm going to swap it out and put acoustic guitar strings on it and see what it sounds like, if it makes it sound more like acoustic. The pots seem to be okay. I've plugged it in already, and nothing, no problems going on there. The switch seems to be okay. What else can I say? That as far as flaws in the finish, like I said, there's like a run on the side here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Like they dripped some solvent or something down there. So again, I'm not caring too much because I'm going to sand this down a little bit and actually shoot it with a clear lacquer. I think it'll bring out these colors better. They're three-tone colors, yellow, red, black. I think would come out better if it was more of a gloss finish. So I'm going to probably do that. So on the back, you have a compartment for a battery, 9-volt battery. Then this gets into you have to take this off every time you change your strings. I may or may not leave it like that. I may actually route out an opening right here so I can change the strings without taking the cover off. And then this is, of course, for the electronics in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take these covers off and show you what's inside because it's interesting. So stand by. Be right back. All right. Here we are back again. All right. So I took the back covers off, and right at the start of this, you're going to see some really funky stuff going on here. So what they did to ground their bridge, since because this is plastic and wood, they stuck copper tape in here. Really funky, really stupid. But hey, I don't think these guys are really engineers, so they just did what they could to make it work. So what I'm going to do is actually cut a piece of sheet metal about that same size, drill the 6 holes in it, and glue it down there, and then I can solder the ground wire to that. That will fix that issue. The other thing, like I said, is got that hole back in there. Big hole. Look at that. Hello! Hello! Look at that. It's terrible. So I might cover that with a thin piece of wood. The other thing that's kind of funky is they used active preamp in here because I'm assuming this pickup needs active, and plus of course the bridge piezo does. But it's got a no-name amplifier in here, and it's got, I can see, 2 mini pots in there that are just kind of like, let me see if I can get one out. Just hanging in there. You can see. You can't see very well. So I'm going to do some research and find out what exactly these are and whether or not they're usable. If they're usable, like maybe for a tone or bass control or something, I may actually rewire that and maybe put some of those controls like up in here, like you see on some acoustics, little rollers or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. I have to figure out what it is they did. But anyway, they just kind of wadded the wires all up and twisted it in there and shoved it in there, and it looked real good. Plus, the soldering on the switch is really crappy, so I'll go through and clean that up, fix that. Other than that, I mean, there's plenty of room in there to put all kinds of stuff. But that is what it is. And like I said, I don't know who they used for their little preamp there, but I'm going to do some research. So there you have it. Quick review. You know, for most people, they probably look at all this stuff and go, okay, I'm sending it back. But for me, because I'm an engineer and I build guitars, this is all stuff that's really pretty easy for me to fix. And then it might be worth it for me to, you know, to keep it because, like I said, to make this is going to cost more than $150 for me. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and you can leave comments if you want and like or whatever you want. So there you have it. Talk to you later.